In the studio with us today is May. Hi, May.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to have you on our show. So a lot of things have been happening, sadly,
Yeah.
around Toronto, around in Israel, and I think we're all aware of what's going on. Um, but I think you're here to tell us what's going on in Toronto. I think I was going to say what's going on in Toronto within the younger generation, within young kids like you. Please tell us what's going on.
Honestly, a lot is going on in the past week with everything happening with the conflict and everything. There's been a huge rise of anti-Semitism online, on social media, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and it's just very, very hard to watch as a Jewish Israeli here living in Canada, so far away from the conflict.
Can you give us an
Um,
example? Give us an example what without
yeah.
saying.
For
uh,
example, there has been a TikTok going around from a student that goes to Laurier University, and it's just very hard to watch. She compares the Palestinian flag to the Israeli flag and then pretends to stab the Israeli flag. She throws up, she pretends to burn. It's not two sides here.
no, I actually saw that. I actually happened to see that video, and she actually takes a knife and like does like
Yeah,
that to the flag. Yeah, you know.
it's very hard to watch. And when you go to the comments, you see all of her supporters, and people see this as like a free Palestine movement. And by all means, you can support Palestinians 100%.
Yes, yes,
However,
we need to. Yeah.
however, people are not understanding that there is a terrorist organization that is endangering everyone's lives,
It,
and they're just painting it as black and white.
it's
Israel
important to
versus
it's important to say that they're endangering the Israeli life, but they're also endangering the Palestinian
100%,
life. Yeah,
100%. And online, all the misinformation that I'm seeing, which is pro-Palestinian, which again, by all means, you can have an opinion, you can be pro-Palestinian. We're all human beings.
that's
But
right.
all these posts that I've been seeing, they're wishing for the lives of Palestinians to stay safe. They're saying Israel is an occupation. They're saying all of these untrue facts, and nowhere online do I see wishing for both sides to be safe. These are human beings at stake. My family is there.
Yeah,
Everyone's
all of
family is there. It's just really hard to see like how people are taking this misinformation and spreading it. And you see so many celebrities online visibly taking one side over the other and villainizing the other side.
So what you're saying is what we really need to do is spread the education.
100%. And that's what I've been
Okay,
doing on my Instagram stories. Ever
okay,
since the beginning of this, I've been posting both sides. I've been posting Palestinian human rights activists. I've been posting Israeli human rights activists. I've been posting history videos, just trying to educate people on what the whole conflict is about, because they don't really see the truth behind it. They just see weak versus strong. That's it. And yes, the IDF is strong, but that's because we've had to defend
we
ourselves
have,
for so
yeah.
many years. We don't really have much of a choice when a terrorist organization
Yeah,
is harming
I
us.
know. The sad part is that they are, the Hamas, the terrorist organization, is hiding, behind, women and children in hospital and schools. They're doing it on purpose.
100%.
Yeah,
And they're using the media to
yeah.
help them. The media building that was shot down, for example, nowhere was it reported that Hamas was hiding in the basement and shooting rockets out of there.
Well, now the story's out.
Now the story is out,
Yeah,
but initially everyone just spread Israel attacks the media. They're trying to control the press. It's just completely one-sided. No one even looks at the facts. It's really hard to see that my own peers at every university that I go to, peers that I went to high school with, just aren't seeing both sides. And it's not sides, it's human lives at stake.
So who do you think is, what do you think we should do? I mean,
This
I know what I think I know, because we have a very poor PR.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's really Israel's responsibility to do it. But as Jews, as Israelis living, outside of Israel, it is also our job I believe, as ambassadors to
Yeah.
spread the truth. Not to
100%.
go down to anybody's level. That, they can write whatever they want, but we should stick to, continue being, humanitarian, continue being, spreading the truth. That's it. That's all we can do. But we need more young people. I mean, because you guys are so good at, Instagram and Facebook and so forth. No, actually, my son has been telling me Facebook is for the older generation.
A little bit, a little bit.
I know, but but
But
but
yeah,
it's you guys are so good at social media.
I
Maybe
completely agree.
maybe maybe that's what you should talk about, how to get other young people from all walks of life, not just Jews, to spread the truth. That's it.
100%. And that's completely what I'm trying to do on my Instagram story. And honestly, I have gotten some bad messages, but I've gotten a lot more good messages from
Good.
people that some of them are even Jewish and they weren't nearly educated on this. To be fair, I'm not sitting here and saying I'm the most educated on this topic, but I do know the basic ground floor level, and that is this is a terrorist organization that
And
we are fighting against. There's human lives at stake, and we need to resolve this. There needs to be peace. And
I
everything
don't.
on social media
Sorry,
is,
I don't think.
yeah,
Sorry, May.
yeah,
I don't think there's an issue with
yeah.
anyone that Hamas is a terrorist organization.
To
I
be
think the
honest,
problem.
there is. There is.
Sorry.
There
Okay.
is. I've been seeing a lot online
Okay. Then
where
tell us. Yes.
it'll be a post literally saying it's not two sides, this is human lives, this is terrorism. And then all the comments are free Palestine, of course, and then they say you Israelis are trying to twist it and call Hamas a terrorist organization. They just became that because the oppressor Israel is
Wow.
they need to fight against. Like a simple Google search of Hamas, you can see their
Yeah.
charters and exactly what they stand for. Exactly what they stand for. There's nothing in it about protecting Palestinians. There's nothing in it about taking care and wanting their people to be safe. Everything that's in it is endangering the lives of Jews. We want Jews killed. There's no exception. The only way they can survive is if they convert to Islam. It's so clear in the charters and people are completely avoiding it and they're making excuses for it. Whenever anywhere else in the world there's terrorism attacks, you don't hear anyone saying, but the terrorists, it just makes no sense. And it's so clearly against Jews.
I always wonder when I hear the chanting "Free Palestine." I always wonder, to freedom from what? I, to freedom from from they are being oppressed not by the Israel. I mean, they should look at the history. Who's supplying them? With so many of the necessity. Israel is not. Who's doing it? Israel is, and to freedom from what? Yes, to freedom from the terrorist organization. But I always sit there and say, like, freedom from, we're not there. We're not in Gaza. What do we need
They
to
don't
freedom for?
understand. They don't understand. They want freedom from Israel. If they have, first of all, they already have freedom from Israel. Israel withdrew
Yeah,
from there in 2005. That's
that's
already
right.
done. But they call for freedom of Israel and they say Israel is an oppressor, but they don't even acknowledge the lack of rights, freedom of speech, LGBTQ rights, women's rights that are happening in Palestine and Gaza because of the terrorist organization that is in control of them. The media that is there, they control everything they say. They censor them completely. If you speak out against them, you are either killed, thrown into jail, abused, harassed. The list continues and goes on. When people say free Palestine, they genuinely don't know what they're saying because they're saying from Israel. Israel is the one providing them with food, water, medical care, electricity, vaccines. It's even the UN said it's not Israel's responsibility to do this, but they do.
And who just blew up the electricity in Gaza? It wasn't Israel.
On
It's
top of
Hamas.
exactly that, people were posting stories saying Israel just shut off the electricity to
If they
200,000
didn't,
people in Gaza to censor them and silence them. They did not. That was a misfired rocket from Gaza. And
Yeah.
on top of that, no one is talking about the misfired rockets from Gaza, which is crazy in my mind because these people that claim that they're so pro-Palestinian, they want these human rights for Palestinians, but they don't talk about what's happening by their own government. It's just crazy to me.
May, how is it affecting you personally?
Honestly, it's taking a big mental toll on me. Like, I've been posting online because I feel as a Jew, it's partially my duty because who's going to stand up for us other than us? And it shows a lot now. But just the pressure that I feel to spread this, it hurts. Like, it's very difficult. And seeing all the hatred online that we live in Canada, we don't even live there. And people are over here threatening Jews, harassing Jews, coming to Jewish neighborhoods and standing outside their houses and yelling Free Palestine and harassing them when they're not doing anything other than being Jewish. It's very hard to see. Like, we grow up and we learn about the Holocaust and we say never again. But this stuff is starting to happen again. You see cartoons of Jews being portrayed in a horrible, evil light. You see, I don't remember where it was, but it was somewhere in Europe where they had a big statue, big little caricature of a Jew with a big nose and called them a Nazi. They're now all of a sudden calling the Jews Nazis. People in pro-Palestine rallies, instead of chanting for the freedom of Palestine from the terrorist organization that is taking over, they're chanting death to all Jews.
I know. It's so sad. And I'm so sorry that you have to grow up in such an ugly world. Our parents, I mean, your grandparents, my parents, fought for, to give us freedom to be able to walk in Canada as free people. And it seems like, instead of going forward, we're going a little bit backward. And you just mentioned about them coming to, Jewish areas. I mean, even though Toronto is a free country, it's free. Everybody can walk the streets, can do whatever they want. You can, tell someone not to come to your streets. But they actually did come, just, few days ago to, a Jewish area, the Bathurst and Steeles, Bathurst and Clark area. And they did cause, a ruckus here.
100%.
There was no need for it, people that live in those neighborhoods, they're innocent people. We have nothing to, I shouldn't say we have nothing to do with what's going on in Israel, because we all do, but this is Canada. We're not in the middle of the conflict, and we shouldn't bring it into Canada, because it's just not right. There's so many conflicts all around the world. You don't bring them into Canada or into the country that has no conflict. But it is true. This is what they're doing. I don't know how to stop it. The only thing I can say is that Israelis and Jews have to unite. I've been saying that for years. We have to unite. We have to, be as one voice, one people, and just keep spreading the truth. Just because they've go into violence doesn't mean we have to as well. I'm just saying, not just because they are the way they are, we don't have to do. We have to continue in our way. That's all I'm trying to say,
So I just wanted to say, my parents came here to Canada and brought me and my sister here so we could get away from all the conflict and all the war in Israel. But we're coming here and we're being scared. Jews are scared to wear Magen David when they go to school. They're scared to walk on their campuses. They're scared to play Israeli music. They're scared to speak Hebrew to their friends in public. It's really a dangerous time. And a lot of people aren't noticing that. They're continuing to spread anti-Semitic posts and anti-Semitic fake information that just continues to hate. It's just very, very hard to witness.
As sad as it is, we have to continue fighting, because those that are spreading it don't care. That's what they want. They want to spread it. So, I mean, don't expect them to care. We have to continue our way, just to continue spreading the truth. I shouldn't say that, because some people that are spreading it, and if they ignorant and don't know, and they're smart enough to listen, sometimes you can persuade them. So I take it back. Yes, we should continue spreading the truth, because there are some people that, you can reach and make them understand, that you can't, I mean, they're trying to change the narrative. And I actually heard, this is like a Hebrew saying, an Israeli saying, never again. We've been saying it after the Holocaust. That's where it's coming from. And I actually heard it last week, um, um, talked about with Palestinian, that they're taking our narrative of never again, using it, like in the Palestinian issue, never again. I was like, wow.
They just really don't understand where these things stem from and how important they are. They don't understand how the misinformation they're spreading is what it's causing.
Well, that's our job, to change their minds. So tell me, you're studying, you're in university. What's going on in the universities?
So apart from the TikTok that I spoke about, there's also a Nazi flag being driven around Western University,
which is in London, Ontario.
London, Ontario. Yes.
Okay. Wow.
The second I saw that on my Instagram stories, I instantly felt scared for my life.
There's actually two cars. I've seen two cars.
Yep. It's one thing to have the Israel-Palestine conflict with all the difficult areas of it that a lot of people don't understand and misinterpret. But there's another thing, advocating for Nazis. That was a genocide that not only killed 6 million Jews, but millions of other people.
Yeah.
And it's terrifying to know that nothing's being done. When I saw that, right away, I reached out to Hillel at Western, and I know
I'm just gonna stop you, May, just to make sure. Like, how do you know nothing's being done? See, we should, I want to make sure that, the police are trying to do their best. They are acting. So, please, let's not say nobody, nothing is being done. It takes time for even the police to do something about it. They have to know about it in order to do something. And I'm sure something is being done. I'm sorry. I just had to stop you and clear it up.
100%. I agree. And I really hope they're trying to do it. And another thing that's been happening at universities, Queen's University in Kingston, Ontario, they have a newspaper called Queen's Journal. And yesterday they posted, and this was posted by the two presidents of the club. Okay, it wasn't talked about with anyone else. It was just posted on behalf of the
student clubs.
Yeah, the student clubs.
Okay.
So it was posted. They made a post that they're gonna be donating to BDS. They condemned the actions of Israel. There was no mention of Hamas, the terrorist organization. They wish for the lives of only Palestinians to stay safe. The outrage that happened from this post, where they're saying that they're taking students' money. Students give $9 a year. It was calculated. They give $9 a year to this club specifically. Every single student, it's a mandatory fee. So the fact that they are taking Jewish students' money and donating it to an anti-Semitic organization, BDS, which has been known for spreading anti-Semitic misinformation for years. The outrage that happened from this is crazy. All the comments, they're split in two ways. It's either Free Palestine, thank you for saying this, or Jewish students being outraged. The donors that the school has, predominantly Jewish. I'm sure that this action by these two student presidents in the club was not taken into account, was not asked of the school. They didn't have any confirmation, nothing. I'm sure the Jewish students on that club were not asked on their opinion. Like, they completely spoke for the students of Queens in a very misrepresented way. And
so what can we do about that? What is being done about that?
What's being done right now, literally 10 minutes after they posted that, the Hillel at Queen's University posted a statement saying that
do you want to explain what Hillel is for people that don't know?
Hillel the gist of it is they're a student-run organization for Jews and Israelis that advocate for us. They also host many events, usually on holidays, that can bring together. They also have many educational events.
Okay.
They're basically a student-run advocate group for Jews and
Okay.
Israelis on campuses.
Okay. So they're aware of it, and they're on what's going on in Queen University. But I wasn't aware of, beside those two cars, that something's happening in Western University. Do you know of anything that you can let us know?
No, nothing besides those two cars. But honestly, at every university, with every Jewish student that I've been speaking to, every single one that's been posting about this, all they get is messages of hate and messages threatening the lives of them and their families, simply for them speaking out against against this anti-Semitism that we're seeing online. And I honestly feel like these kinds of threats should not be taken lightly. Like, we have become accustomed through so many years of these threats thrown to us that they're normal. They shouldn't be taken lightly by these universities. They should be taking action. I'm sure they're trying to, but I'd like to see something happening from it. There should be action taken and consequences.
We have to check. I'm going to double check on that for next show to see what has been done.
Yeah.
But I know that you have been attacked personally online.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about it?
People have been sending me messages from fake accounts that they've created yesterday that have 0 followers, 0 anything, just to attack me, to tell me that my Jewish life is not worth anything. I wish Hitler were here. I don't even want to speak about it because it's very hard to talk about what me and everyone else are experiencing.
But we need to know, I think by you speaking about it, maybe you're going to, wake the rest of the community up that this is happening, because maybe people don't know. Not everybody has students at home.
Yeah.
Not everybody, are maybe in touch with students. They don't know what's going on. So they need to know.
Yeah. And even people that I see post very one-sided things, I message them and I go, hi, I just want to let you know this, that. It doesn't really speak for the truth of what's happening. If you want to know what's happening, and I send them links and resources, and their answer to me, they don't even open it. They go, so you think Palestinians should die? That's their one answer. It's like they don't care to know the truth. They don't care to take the time and inform themselves.
So you should answer them, no one should die.
That's exactly what I answer. I answer, no one should die. There should be peace. However, to get to there, we need to talk about what is happening. We need to be educated. We need to be educated on what is happening there. There's a terrorist organization. There's a threat to both Palestinians and Israelis.
Yes, there is.
It's a huge threat that's been taking over the land for so many years, and people just don't acknowledge it. And genuinely, it stems from anti-Semitism. People don't listen to Jewish voices. It's very hard to say and acknowledge, but they don't listen to Jewish voices. Back last year, when we had the Black Lives Matter rallies, for example, me and all of my friends, we listened to our to our POC friends. We listened to them when they said something racist. That is what you should do. When there was anti-Asian hate, we listened.
Absolutely.
There's no way someone not Jewish can message me and tell me and explain to me what is or isn't anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
And
sorry, man, I have to bring something up. I've been hearing lately that they're actually starting to call us white
supremacists.
Sounds like, since when is Jews become? I mean, in Nazi Germany, we were made sure that we were not white. We're not white. We were never white.
We were never white.
I know. Also, I've been hearing a lot of people. This is really something that I think the youth of today have to spread. I've been hearing a lot, propaganda saying that we should go back to Europe. Yes. So, and I'm like looking, what Europe? My family didn't come from Europe. There's so many
families.
Yeah.
Jews are not white. That's something people don't understand.
but also like so many of us, I don't know how many percentage have never didn't come from Europe. They come from Arab countries, you know. So I want to stop this myth that white supremacists or white or go back to Europe. You know, we were never there. You know, some of us was never there. Jews, you know, not all Jews came from Europe. So it's an important myth to stop.
We literally come from Arab countries that we were
Yes.
ethnically cleansed from. And
Yes.
the joke is that that is what people are accusing us of today. I don't think a population that has grown so much in size, just as the population in Gaza, can be considered ethnically cleansed. I think the population of Jews in Iraq, Iran, Jordan, Morocco, all over the Middle East, that there were hundreds of thousands of Jews living there. And now there's virtually none. That is ethnic cleansing. Jews are not white.
But no, they're not, definitely not. But we should say that, you know, one of the, you know, countries that Jews have returned and are living and have a great is Morocco. We should not forget how great the King of Morocco has been to the Jews, and a lot of actually Israelis go there. There's a lot of tours and, you know, so forth. So yeah, so good for the King of Morocco. What would you like to say to, you know, the Israelis, you know, Jewish young people that are watching you right now?
I would honestly just like to say that it is our time to speak. It is our time to post about this, to educate people, to contact our universities and speak out against the anti-Semitism that we face on campus. No one else will speak up for us except for us, and we've learned that from history.
Yes.
We've learned that from what we're seeing today. No one else will do this. We are a minority, but we are one of the strongest minorities there is. We face so much adversity in our history and in mankind, in our religion, in our ethnicity, and it's so important and valuable for us to be the ones trying to educate people. We are not here to speak about which lives are more important than others. We're here to speak about peace. We're here to speak about moving forward. Israel, overall, and I know I speak for majority of Israelis and Jews, we just want peace on this conflict. We would much rather, I'm sure my cousins in Israel would much rather go to university like I am here in Canada instead of go and fight for their country at the age of 18.
Or be at the shelter instead of going to school.
Or be at the shelter instead of in school or outside enjoying the beautiful weather. We're the only ones that can speak for ourselves, and we need to educate our non-Jewish friends. We need to, that are being manipulated by the propaganda online. We need to educate our peers. Even though you see, and it's hard to say, and it's hard to explain, we need to take the time to educate them because they're joining on this trend of free Palestine. And realistically, just like every other fake woke activist in North America, it's a trend and it dies down. However, anti-Semitism, as we know, does not die down.
Yeah.
We need to stand strong and continue and speak about ourselves. We need to educate people and tell them how important it is to understand how they're being anti-Semitic and how to work around it and be understanding people and understand that both lives are at stake.
Continue doing the phenomenal job that you're doing. Be safe, be careful. I'm sorry that I have to even say that, but I need to make sure that all the young people are, you know, being smart, safe, and continue doing the work. And I hope you come back and tell us later on what's happening. Thank you so
100%.
much.
Thank you so much for having me.
No problem, anytime. And thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you again next week.